I can't believe it's been 15 years since this film came out. And, well, I'd say, just like the poster says, I don't think you can handle the tooth. So it's time to talk about Tooth Fairy with Dwayne Johnson. But does this film still really deserve the hate after 15 years? Or am I going to give him the tooth and nothing but the tooth, no pun intended, by bringing this film to justice? Find out in this review right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2010 fantasy comedy family flick Tooth Fairy, released by Fox and directed by Michael Limbeck, produced by Jason Blum. Yes, you heard me correctly, as in Jason Blum of Blumhouse. At least be thankful that company wasn't even involved in this, I don't think. No way, it was involved, but at least their scary logo wasn't featured in the movie. Anyway, this was also produced by Mark Ciardi and Gordon Gray. Written by Lowell Gans, Babalu Mendel, Randy Mayhem Singer, Joshua Stern, and Jennifer Ventimiglia. With music by George S. Clinton. The film was released on this day, January 22nd, 2010. The film stars Dwayne Johnson in the title role along with Ashley Judd and Julie Andrews. This is also was also produced along with Wally Mia and Dune Entertainment. The film unfortunately got dissed by critics, but still did well though. Let's get into the story. Derek Thompson is a minor league hockey player, ice hockey that is, named, well, actually nicknamed, excuse me, the Tooth Fairy, for his habit of shoving opposing players so hard their teeth come out. One night, Derek steals $1 from his girlfriend Carly's 6-year-old daughter Tess that had been left for her lost tooth, telling her that the Tooth Fairy doesn't exist in the process. He receives a magical summons under his pillow, which causes him to grow wings and transports him to the realm of tooth fairies. He meets his caseworker Tracy and the head fairy Lily, both of whom he develops an adversarial relationship with. Lily sentences Derek to serve as a tooth fairy for 2 weeks as a punishment for his unsympathetic dealings with children like Tess. Later, he meets Jerry, who gives him his Tooth Fairy supplies, which include shrinking paste, invisible spray, dog peppermints, amnesia dust, cataway, and a magic wand that will only work if he believes. Carly's 14-year-old son, Randy, dislikes Derek, and Randy wants to grow up to be a heavy metal star. When Derek defends Randy against a bully, he begins to win Randy over, and Derek begins teaching Randy to play his electric guitar better so he can win a talent show. Derek visits several children and tries to collect teeth and give out dollars, but a mixture of obstacles, his own incompetence, and sheer bad luck cause him to fail at his job. Lily says that he is the worst tooth fairy ever and denies Derek any more supplies from Jerry for the remainder of his sentence, criticizing his lack of faith in children. Afterward, he is approached by a fairy named Ziggy who provides him with black market supplies. Later that night, the items malfunction. Derek is seen by a child's mother and arrested. While behind bars, Tracy tells Derek that Lily extended his duty to 3 weeks and offers to give Derek proper supplies if he will start acting like an actual tooth fairy. Carly soon comes to bail Derek out. Derek works on improving his tooth fairy skills and bonding with Tracy and Randy. But when Derek can't score a goal at a hockey game, he takes his frustration out on Randy, telling him that he will never become a rock star. With his dreams crushed, Randy tearfully smashes his guitar, and at this point, Carly breaks up with Derek, telling him his biggest flaws are his lack of optimism and that he can't say what if. Later, Tracy comes to Derek's house to announce that he is a tooth fairy in training, much to Derek's annoyance. And when he mocks him and tells him to get out of his house, Tracy tells him that Derek's dream crushing reputation hurts himself more than others. At the next hockey game, Derek gets back on the ice and sees Tracy, who silently encourages Derek to score a goal. And after some brief difficulty, Derek successfully scores a goal, finally learning the importance of dreams. Tracy then reveals to Derek that his next Tooth Fairy assignment is at Tess's house. And with a more confident and optimistic spirit, Derek accepts the job, gets into his Tooth Fairy costume, and flies away while Tracy spreads amnesia dust on the audience to cover up the event. Whew, excuse me. All right, now I'm going to go to the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video right now. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. At Carly's, Tess sees Derek taking her tooth, and Derek reveals that he is a tooth fairy to her, and she promises to keep it a secret. Derek apologizes to Randy and encourages him to keep pursuing his dreams, using his magic wand to grant Randy a new guitar. Downstairs, Carly sees Derek as a tooth fairy, but assumes that he ran a costume for Tess's sake, causing her to forgive him. Derek flies Randy to the talent show, throwing amnesia dust on him when they arrive. Derek heads back to the fairy realm to give Lily the tooth and is told that because of this job, as well as for reaffirming Tess's belief, he has been relieved of his fairy duties. Lily explains that he will never see the tooth fairies again and will have amnesia dust thrown on him. Before departing, Derek says a friendly goodbye to Tracy. Lily throws amnesia dust on Derek and transports him back to the talent show, and there Randy outperforms everyone and ends up forming a band. Derek's newfound optimism remains intact and he proposes to Carly, who accepts. Later, Derek is seen playing left wing for the LA Kings, and when he sees Lily and Jerry in the crowd, he doesn't recognize them. Jerry secretly helps him score a goal. In the story. So, what did I think of Tooth Fairy? Well, I've seen this a few times, so it's now become a guilty pleasure and what have you. I thought this film was pretty funny and what have you. At first, I didn't know what to think of it, but this one, I really made an exception. This was exceptionally very funny. It eventually did fine at the box office, despite losing to Fox's big juggernaut from the previous year, which had been open for some time, Avatar, plus Legion and the Book of Eli. But however, it still did fine and what have you. Despite getting dissed by critics, with Sing at a mere 17 to 18% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying that Dwayne Johnson brings the full force of his charm and his appropriately pale chompers to the title role, but flat direction and a committee-written script rendered this film unacceptably dull. Metacritic has it as score 36, but however, audiences polled by CinemaScore gave us an A minus. Despite being dissed by the critics, the film went on to make 111 million, well, to 112 million worldwide against its $48 million budget. So eventually that still became a hit and what have you. But I gotta say, when he becomes this Tooth Fairy boy, the fun really begins and what have you. I mean, I gotta say, this is Dwayne Johnson's. I consider that to be the second most funniest film that Dwayne Johnson took after doing the game plan a few years before this. But what can I say? I thought it was exceptionally really good. Now, anyway, the film's director was Michael Limbeck, who most people who I'm just sharing my sources. This is the guy who played Max Horvath in the final 5 seasons of the hit sitcom One Day at a Time. That's right, and he also had recently directed the Santa Claus 2 and the Santa Claus 3 as well. Yeah, I didn't even know that until I just checked my sources. But yes. So I'm gonna say he did a pretty good job in directing the film, so that's pretty good. I don't care what they say, but that was really something. Now, with George S. Clinton's score, I'm gonna say he did very good and what have you. Now I am gonna say now this guy has done like I don't know the scores for numerous films and what have you, but actually there's too many to mention what have you. He because he actually did do the score for the Santa for both the Santa Claus 2 and 3 as a matter of fact as well. He also did the scores for the Austin Powers films. And let's see. Yeah. Well, there's so many. He also did the scores for other films that got dissed and what have you, but there's so many to mention. So he did a pretty good job. Now for our cast, we have Dwayne Johnson playing Derek Thompson, aka the Tooth Fairy. I mean, yeah, he proved to be a real character and what have you. He was really, really funny, and I really liked that about him. Playing Carly was Ashley Judd, and I'm going to say she was good. Julie Andrews took on the role of Lily. I mean, wow, this was so cool. Very cool indeed. Let's see now. And let's see. Other members in the cast we have Stephen Merchant as Tracy. I gotta say, he's pretty funny as well. Now, playing the black market seller Ziggy is none other than the man who gave us Family Guy and American Dad, Seth MacFarlane. Yeah, and I think this was just a little bit before he gave us Ted. There's also Brandon T. Jackson in this, and many others. And playing Jerry is Billy Crystal, whom unfortunately was uncredited. But it was him, all right. Actually, years later, he would actually do another film for Fox and Wald and Mia, and that would be the film Parental Guidance. And I have yet to review that film. If I do happen to revisit that film, I will certainly review that. But despite critics' hate this film, it still did pretty well. It would later go on to have a direct-to-video sequel with Larry the Cable Guy as the titular character, and I think I've only seen a little bit of that. I can't remember too much of that, and that was released 2 years later. So anyway, I'm proving that you're wrong about the Tooth. You should all be wrong about the Tooth Fairy film. I mean, well, I'm referring to critics, not you. We're all entitled to our own opinions, okay? But don't take my word for it. After 15 years, this film needs a little bit of love and what have you. So overall, with everything said, The Tooth Fairy's not too bad of a film. But would I recommend it? Well, I'd say a one-time watch, definitely. If you are only if you are a hardcore fan of Dwayne Johnson and his acting and what have you, definitely. So what did you think of Tooth Fairy? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, make it grow, make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel, give them to know me. Maybe they'd like to be a part of my Big D Nation. Share my vids with your friends if you like. And join me next time when I bring to you a spoiler-free review of Gladiator 2. So if you like this, check out my reviews for some of these other films that Dwayne Johnson has done. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the funny film I had actually just talked about a while ago, The Game Plan from 2007. Very funny film. The upper right-hand corner is a recent film he did a few years back, and that's Disney's Jungle Cruise. Or go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of his recent hit, which is still out there, Moana 2. In the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.